Hello, everyone. My name is Nakisa, and I'm going to talk today about gut microbiome. And we are going to expand on why gut microbiome health is so important for the overall health of the human body. This is me, Nakisa. I have a doctorate degree in cell and molecular biology. I have a master's degree in biochemistry. I am a health and nutrition life coach, and I have a certificate from that. I am a college professor. I teach anatomy and physiology at Orange Coast College. I am a former bench scientist. I worked at USC where I obtained my PhD and as a postdoc at UCI. And then after that, I was a research scientist for several years before joining the Orange Coast College team as a college instructor. I have 2 book authorships and some book chapters, and also science paper publications. And my personal journey, healing myself and my family, is really the driving force for me to start this business, Love Maman, and offering these sprouted superfood spreads to the population. We used food as medicine, and we started from healing our gut. And that's what I want to start talking to you guys about: gut health and gut microbiome. Okay, so we're going to start our talk with a quote from Hippocrates. Hippocrates was the father of modern medicine. All disease begins in the gut. Okay, so what is gut microbiome? Where is gut microbiome located? What determines gut microbiome? Why is gut microbiome health so important? What is dysbiosis and leaky gut? How to fix dysbiosis and leaky gut? And at the very end, I just tell you very briefly about what Love Maman Sprouted Nut Ghee Spreads offer to my customers. Here we talk about what is gut microbiome. Okay, gut microbiome is really an ecosystem of trillions of bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi, and their collective genetic material present in gastrointestinal tract. It is controlled by diet and lifestyle. Just so you get a feel for the importance of microbiome, just by the number, you have about 10 to 100 trillion. These are the number of symbiotic microbial cells harbored by each person. So you have all these microbes, 10 to 100 trillion microbes living in your body. These numbers are 10 times more than the number of human cells. So they outnumber us by 10 times. You have about 22,000 genes in human genome. However, we have 3.3 million number of non-redundant genes. This is the gut microbiome genes. So you see, there are 100 times more genes of our microbiome compared to us, our genes. We are about 80 to 90% different from one another in terms of our microbiome. However, we are about 99.9% identical as far as human genome. There are over 10,000 species of these microbial population in our gut or in the human body in general. And of course, it is more populated in our gut, but it is all over the body. Basically, we're really like a shell. We are covering this soup of these microbial population. And up to 90% of all diseases can be raised in some way back to the gut and health of the microbiome. That's why it's so important for us to take care of these microbiome, take care of these microbes, be nice to them, feed them well, and keep them happy. Where is gut microbiome located? Gut microbiome is located in the gastrointestinal tract. Your gastrointestinal tract starts from your oral cavity, goes down to esophagus, and then to your stomach. Duodenum is the beginning of small intestine, and then you go to jejunum and ileum. These are all part of small intestine. And then from there, through this valve, ileocecal valve, you are going to enter the large intestine, which is called colon, and sigmoid colon, and then rectum and anus. So this is your whole GI tract. As you can see from this illustration, as we go down the GI tract, we see that the colony forming unit per milliliter of these microbes are kind of increasing, okay? 10 to the 1 to 10 to the 2 CFU per milliliter in the stomach and duodenum. And as you go up, down the GI tract, you have this number increased. We also see that the variety of the microbes are increased as we go down the GI tract. As you can see, you have a very high variety and very high number of these microbes in the colon, okay, in your large intestine. What determines gut microbiome? Okay, so impacting factors on gut microbiome are basically your lifestyle. Pharmaceuticals, if you're on prolonged pharmaceuticals, have a direct impact on the health of your gut microbiome. Where you live, the geography, where you live, the health of the soil that you are feeding, the vegetables that are coming from your soil, it also directly impacts the health of your gut microbiome. Where you are in your life stages, are you in the childhood, babyhood, childhood, young adult, or at the elderly stage of your life, your gut microbiome changes dramatically throughout your life cycle. It's very important that you, during birthing process, you inherit the healthiest, the highest number of beneficial microbes through the birthing process. If you are coming out through the vaginal canal, basically the first gulp you get through this birthing process, you will inherit the mother's microbiome. If you are coming out through C-section, whatever's in the operating room, for example, the skin of the surgeon, the nurse, And whatever's in the operating room will populate the baby's gut microbiome. Infant feeding method is immense, is very, very important. Why is that? Because the nursing mother's milk changes throughout the stages of the baby's development. And as infant is growing older, this composition changes, okay, to accommodate the growth and development of that infant at different stages of life. But if you are bottle fed, then what happens, you basically are going to have the exact same formula over and over and over and over. And then I'm not going to get into how bad this formula are formulated, which is really not beneficial to the gut microbiome of these babies. And we're starting these babies at a very disadvantaged way of starting life as far as their gut microbiome goes, which is very important for the overall health of this baby. But just knowing that the feeding stages of the baby should be accommodating the growth stages of the baby. And this is basically the best way would be through nursing, through breastfeeding. Okay, so your lifestyle is immense. Your stress level, do you do exercise? What's your metabolic stage, psychological stage, emotional stage? Are you overworked? Do you sleep enough? Do you rest enough? Your marriage, your children's, like everything around you really affects your gut microbiome. Your thought process also. Okay, diet also is very crucial. Why is that? Gut microbiome is in your GI tract, and what feeds them the most is the food that enters our body, right, through the diet that we have. We could have standard American diet or SAD diet, which is lots of processed food, lots of sugar, very minimal wholesome food. Or we could actually look at, for example, Mediterranean diet, whole food diet, a diet that you can actually, when you look at the ingredients, you can actually view them in nature. You can actually picture what this ingredient is all about. So diet is very crucial for the health of your gut microbiome. Why is microbiome health is so important? Because if the microbiome health is not optimal, you are going to develop dysbiosis. From there, you're going to develop leaky gut. I'm going to explain more about leaky gut in a minute. But what I'm trying to say if you have a developed and strong immune system, you have a developed gut microbiome that is strong, and the ratio of your beneficial microbes compared to pathological microbes are much higher to keep these pathological microbes in check, then you maintain your gastrointestinal immunity. You are happy. Your microbiome is happy. What happens through prolonged infection, through sad diet, bad lifestyle, in prolonged inflammation, autoimmunity, you develop dysbiosis. Dysbiosis means your gut microbiome is not happy. The balance between your good bacteria, good microbes, and pathological bacteria are going to kind of like shifts. And then your pathological are taking over the beneficial bacteria. And that's what is called dysbiosis. Dysbiosis, in turn, causes disease, causes leaky gut, and from there, it causes disease. Okay, so what is leaky gut? Leaky gut is abnormal intestinal permeability. What do I mean by that? When you are under a lot of stress, lots of toxins enter through your body, food particles, drugs that you consume, the pathogens, organ malfunctions, all of the above causes the gastrointestinal tract to be inflamed. That inflammation opens up. These are the cells, these are called enterocytes. These are the cells of your gut lining, and they are supposed to be tight. There's tight junctions. So they're supposed to be, if this is the lumen of your gut, your GI tract, they were supposed to be tightly next to each other. Through inflammation, these gap junctions open up. When they open up, you have leaky gut. What does that mean? That means these food particles that were supposed to go through the GI tract now find a way out to your bloodstream. They're going inside your bloodstream. What happens? Food intolerance occurs. Immune system starts attacking these food that are not supposed to be there, right? And that in turn causes autoimmunity. Basically, your immune system finds these food particles attached to your cells and starts attacking them. It starts attacking your cell because it wants to get rid of them. So we want to make sure that we fix leaky gut before we do anything else to reduce the chronic diseases. This is the first step in every healing body for every ailment. Here, just so you know, the leaky gut affects the whole entire body. Brain, depression, anxiety, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder is definitely affected by leaky gut. Skin, acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, thyroid issues, Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, Graves'. I have a lot of students of mine now, they are suffering from thyroid issues, and this should not be happening in your early adulthood to have all these autoimmune disorders. And here we are talking again about large colon, basically large intestine. And there is a lot of issues with bowel movement, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel disease, IBS, and all of those, the cause of it is dysbiosis and leaky gut. Adrenal fatigue, you are kind of like getting yourself through life and you are very tired. Like towards the end of the day, you can't even keep your eyes open. Adrenal fatigue. These are the adrenal glands. The joints problems, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, headaches. These are all related to leaky gut. Sinus and mouth, frequent colds, food sensitivities, food allergies. If all of these can be fixed if we fix this gap junction, if we close these gaps, we can fix all of these issues in the human body. Okay, how do we go about and start this journey fixing our gut microbiome? So I wrote a very brief explanation of what gut healing food and supplements to kind of like start with. Soups that are made with bone broth that are rich in L-glutamine. This is an amino acid, which is a healing amino acid for the gut lining. It's very important. It's rich in minerals and rich in L-glutamine. Your soups, you want to have very minimal grains. Grains meaning rice, meaning barley, meaning pasta, and very minimal beans, or actually no beans, at least at the beginning. You only want to have meat and vegetables, and not all vegetables, like green leafy vegetables, vegetables that are easy to digest. You want to avoid vegetables like nightshade vegetables like tomatoes that have seeds, or eggplants or zucchini. Those are difficult for a compromised gut to digest. It's very important to heal your gut with healthy fat, pasture-raised ghee, animal fat. These are wonderful fat. Extra virgin olive oil, if it's first pressed, if it's truly extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin avocado oil. And this has to be looking like almost green, not white, not yellow. If it's looking green, this is a true extra virgin first press avocado oil. No toxic vegetable oils. All of these corn oil, soy oil, sunflower oil, those have very high amount of omega-6s, which is the inflammatory fatty acid. We don't want those. What we want a balance of omega-3s and omega-6s. And that's what you get in the pasture-raised ghee, in tallow, in animal fat, and so on and so forth. These, your body have enzymes for them. These fats are very close to the fat that our body is used to know. Okay, our enzymes are used to know. Pasture-raised ghee, it's very high in omega-3s, very high in butyric acid. Those are very important for brain health and for gut health. Fermented food, such as kefir, which is fermented milk, I would like it to be raw milk, because if you pasteurize milk, you are basically in that soup, you are killing all these bacteria. They're still in that soup, and you drink it. And that's how you're reacting to the milk, or you are lactose intolerant, because the lactose structure has changed now after high heat of pasteurization. So I am all about raw milk, which has very high number of beneficial microbes to keep the pathological microbes in check. When you pasteurize the milk, you basically kill all of them. And you also have in this soup all these microbes, particles, which start increasing the immune system overreaction to get rid of them. And that's how dairy allergy starts. Sauerkraut is fermented vegetable. It's very easy to make them. You just chop your vegetables. You add a little bit of salt, 1 tablespoon of salt in a 16-ounce jar, and with some water, and just leave it outside on your kitchen counter for like 3 weeks. And you have this beautiful fermented food with lots and lots and lots of beneficial microbes in it. Kimchi is a Korean sauerkraut, and it's very spicy. So for people who like spicy food, that could be another option. We have another beautiful fermented food, Bravo yogurt, which is very high in prebiotics and probiotics. They have 300 species of probiotics. You cannot find anything like that out in the market, and it's very easy to make them. It's very easy if you want to buy them and you don't want to make them. I make ours with raw milk at home, and it's very easy to do it. Okay, so with your soup, you want to add a lot of vegetables. You want it to be colorful. You want high variety. So remember, for our gut microbiome, you only not want to increase the number, you want to increase the variety. The higher variety, the more rainbow vegetables you eat, the happier these microbiome would be. The happier they are going to add variety to it. The eggs are important, the poultry eggs, important, organic, pasture-raised, truly grass-fed meat. These are important. You don't want to barbecue. You don't want to use oven. You want to slow cook them in crock pots. This is easy for the gut to digest this kind of food. If you are doing nuts and seeds, they have to be activated. They have to be sprouted, because now you remove the anti-nutrients, you increase the nutrient density, and when they're sprouted, they're much easier to digest for the body. And same with legumes. I would use very minimal legumes, and if I did, especially at the beginning, they have to be sprouted. Grains have to be sprouted, like basmati rice, have to be sprouted grains. If you are into adding like herbs, you want to use medicinal herbs, plant spices. Mushrooms are beautiful. Ginger, turmeric. Turmeric is a very strong anti-inflammatory herb, and it has curcumin. This is the active ingredient in it. Cinnamon, berries, these are all very strong spices and herbs. And it's very important when you purchase these in the grocery store, make sure they are non-irradiated. Why? Because when you irradiate these spices, basically, yes, the shelf life increases, so it's perfect for the grocery store's pocket money. However, it's not good for us because there's no medicinal property anymore, because we already basically killed it. So it's just the powder that you're using. Herbal teas like fennel is amazing for digestion. It also promotes motility if you have constipation, you have problem going. If you are into essential oil, doTERRA has this Digest Zen that you could rub it on the GI tract, and it's kind of like help just bring things down a little bit. Or peppermint oil is also good. Probiotics, if you are going to do probiotics, is very important you know the source. Most probiotics out there in the market, they are dead by the time they get to the shelf, or they are like less than half of what they are telling you that they are. So you want to go very high quantity of them, so 225 billion colony forming unit or higher, and you definitely want to look for 5 or more species if you are going to do probiotics on the shelf. But the easiest is go for Bravo yogurt. Food is medicine. Bravo yogurt is actually a wonderful food that has over 300 species of probiotics. So it has prebiotics, mainly the food for these probiotics, and lots of probiotics and a variety. Very easy to make them. And I have on my YouTube video, I have a video showing you how to make them. And if you don't want to spend time to make them, you can buy them. Just Google Bravo yogurt, and it takes you to the website, and you can purchase the jars yourself, but it's much, much cheaper if you can make them at home. And at home, you have control. You can use this beautiful raw milk that it doesn't actually give you any allergen effect also. Fibers, prebiotic fibers are important. I am talking about fibers in real food, in vegetables. I'm not talking about corn fibers, all those additives, all those bulking agents that is added to all these highly processed food. Those are detrimental to your gut microbiome. We are only talking about real food here. And, you know, sprouted nuts and seeds, vegetables, fruits, they are very high in prebiotic fibers. Licorice and aloe vera also, if you have acid reflux, these are wonderful additions also if you want to use them. If you want to take any supplement, L-glutamine is a very good one to heal the enterocytes. However, you could get the same effect if you decide to do the soup diet. And if you go to my YouTube videos, you will see that I actually outlined for you GAPS diet, which is a wonderful, wonderful diet to start healing your gut. It's Gut and Psychology Syndrome Diet by Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride. And I would start there if you really want to get results. Okay, so we can continue next week talking about gut-friendly superfood, what we offer at Love Maman. And again, our pillar of our company is on Hippocrates' quote, all disease begins in the gut. So we are going to see how we can use food as medicine to heal the gut. And food is information. Food can heal or can sicken at the same time. So we're going to talk about this next week. Thank you for your attention.